guest for tonight. Her name is Clare. And she is going to be on here with us here in a few seconds. As soon as she pops on, I'll invite her. She is another singer-songwriter, but she's based out of Nashville. She comes from, I want to say, the UK. And she is based in Nashville. She is friends with our good friend Taylor Marie Wagner. This is how we found Clare. There she is. Hello, Susan. How are you?
Oh, I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good. Uh-oh, was that a note to me on the back of the wall saying, make sure you...
Every time I sit here, I put it somewhere else, and it always manages to be on the wall, so forgive me.
That's the infamous wall. That's where you do everything, right?
Everybody keeps saying this to me. They're like, the yellow brick wall. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
There you go. Follow the yellow brick road. See? They know what they're about.
It's so funny because it was actually today I put it on YouTube, but I have a song called No Place Like Home. So it just feels like it's like The Wizard of Oz or something.
Yeah, exactly. Now you got to come up with a few more songs to figure out how to intertwine them all together and make a movie out of it.
Oh yeah, that's where it's at, really.
So how are you?
Music. Oh, I'm amazing. So today has been just the weather here is that, well, you guys are in Florida, so you know what good weather's like.
It's always nice here.
Yeah, I know. You're lucky.
Hey, you're more than welcome to come down.
Honestly, dude, I'm tempted. I miss the beach, you know. I'm a very.
I live 15 minutes from Daytona.
Oh, yeah, I will. Well, you know what? Actually, it's so funny because I think Key West Songwriters Festival was meant to be next weekend, so I would have been in Florida. But I will. I'll get down before the end of the year.
It takes me about more than that. It takes me around to go. Takes me 3 hours to get from Orlando to Miami, and then 3 hours from Miami down to Key West. So it takes about 6 hours.
Yeah, that's like, it's doable. We did it last year. So I have friends from Canada, and they drove from Canada down to Nashville, got us in Nashville, and we drove all the way down.
It's 11 hours to Nashville from here where I'm at in Orlando.
Yeah, we did it, I think, we spread it out for a couple of days. But the way home, we were just like, oh God, like, we're never doing that again. It was great, but it was just very like, ooh, it's a lot.
Your friend and mine, Taylor Marie, was supposed to be here last weekend for a songwriters over here on the beach side, which is only 15 minutes from my house. So she would have actually, her and her husband would have been here, hanging out here on the beach too. So you could have tagged along with her.
Oh, well, let me know when you're going to do it, and then I'll be there.
You know what? Listen, I give you the key. I'll tell you where the key is on the porch. Just show up and let yourself in. I don't care.
Dude, you're tempting me like crazy here. I mean it. Because I have family over in Nantucket Island, and they're like, get in your car and come over. And had it been a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I'd have done it. But now life is starting to resume here, and like things are like I'm going to be back. I'm not going to be back to normal. No musician is, but like things are starting to actually like open up, and things are happening. So I kind of need to be here now to kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true too. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Ireland originally, so I come from a very small village, about 35, 40 minutes north of Dublin. So it's like, I think, like back in the day at least anyway, it was like the smallest village in the smallest county in Ireland. So we have 32 counties in Ireland, and I come from the smallest one. And
what is your main genre? Because from where I'm standing, you are a rocker chick with a countryside mixed into you, all rolled into one.
I love how you come up with country, because I wouldn't class myself as country at all, but there's been elements of songs I've done in the past. So this is exciting because there's going to be a project that I've just been doing that's coming out very soon. There's 3 songs. We finally honed in on what my actual sound is. So it's kind of like blues, rock with soul, and then I have the Celtic thing on the side.
Pretty much, that's like country music.
Yeah, I know. I guess when I hear country, I just think of if people were to say I'm and they always think because I'm here in Nashville that I'm country, and it's I'm not really.
Well, okay, no, it's here. Let me give you a little history education. Back in the day, probably 15. Yeah, I'd say probably 15 years ago is when Nashville started changing, because then it was your Dolly Partons, it was your Travis Tritt, it was your Randy Travis, it was Brad Paisley, it was Alan Jackson, it was Garth Brooks. That's the way it's always. That's
actual country music.
Well, yeah, but that's the way it was back then. But see, now with times changing, Nashville has changed completely. Me personally, I'm old school country. I like old country. I like new country. I like everything. The only reason I say that is because I think if they want to keep because there's a lot of people complaining they want to keep Nashville. They want to keep Nashville country. So take the other element and put them someplace else and keep Nashville there, because you got the Ryman Auditorium, you got the Grand Ole Opry. Keep it originally country. But I like it all. I'm also the MC and host of Bike Week in Daytona. So that's why I picked you.
I know.
That's why I picked you, because I love your tattoos. I grew up on classic rock, so I know Leonard Skinner, I know Molly Hatchet, I know Pink Floyd, I know them all. So and so I've done both genres. I know a lot of music that I've done over the years. But what made you pick Nashville how long have you been in the States now?
When it rolls around to May 21st, I love BC. So I spread my time between Massachusetts and Nashville, but I'm based in Nashville. But I came into the States February 2018. So
wow, you've only been here a couple of years.
Yeah, it'll be coming up to 2. Yeah, it's just over 2 years, I guess.
Are you permanent? Are you permanent or just on a visa?
I'm on a visa. And so I got it's called the O1, and it's for all touring artists or musicians, which gives you 3 years, which is amazing. Right. So obviously this is my last year on this one. So I'm in talks with my lawyer, and we're gonna create.
You want to stick around for a while.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's no I knew America was going to be where I needed to be a long time ago, and I went by means of Sweden, because for anybody who doesn't know me, I was the lead singer of an all-female rock lineup called Thunderbird.
Yes, I was looking at that. I am getting ready to interview Theory of a Dead Man and Sublime in October for Earth Day birthday, because it got postponed. It was supposed to be this past month, but everything got pushed back. So I'm going to be interviewing them at the end of the year. So hey, I got an extra ticket. Come on down. You can tag along with me.
I'm there. You don't even have to ask.
Come on.
You just told me the date and I'm there. Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. They're great. I love them guys.
How long? Let's see. You were doing the band. It was in Ireland. You started in Ireland. How long have you been doing music?
Oh gosh, so I really didn't have anything else growing up apart from music. Like I just had an inner like feeling in me that like was just always musical based. So even I think down to the point where like somebody asked my mom or somebody asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said I'm going to be a rock star, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's cute." So I mean, it was there from very, very young, and then I think I started like publicly singing when I was about 5 or 6, just at like different school things and church and things like that. And then that escalated into like, oh, actually, I really like music. I started the piano, then I picked up the guitar, and then songwriting I started when I was about 16. And then I went to the rock school, it's called, in Dublin. That was for a couple of years. And then I moved over to London in the UK. I went to the London College of Music. So it was like vocal tech, and there was guitar tech, drum tech, bass tech. So that was 3 years. I got my Bachelor of Arts. And then I decided, this is the career I really want. And so I moved up to Cardiff in Wales in the UK, set up a band there, and that was 5 years. So we were like 7 days a week. I was either in the band or I was doing like a duo stuff with the guitarist. And
so you traveled around quite a bit then?
Yeah. We toured all over the UK. So that was amazing. And then, I got a phone call from a girl in Sweden who had heard me on YouTube. I hadn't even got a YouTube channel myself personally. It was just like a band, and we sat down one afternoon and recorded just under 30 videos. People actually still to this day say, why is she wearing the same outfits? Because I sat there for like 2 hours and just sang the song. And one of those videos, it was AC/DC, Highway to Hell, which I think now has way over 500,000 views. It's crazy. Was the video that girl saw, and she called me up, and long story short, we ended up it was going to be opening for Motorhead, and I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. So I spent 1.5 years traveling from the UK over to Sweden until I moved there, and I did that for 5 years. So how did you end up here in Nashville? So I decided because it sounds like you've been doing pretty good over on that end of on the other side of the pond. Yeah. But you end up here. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're here. I'm just. I know people are curious about this. So, the band were amazing, and it gave a lot of opportunities. But unfortunately, there was a little bit of conflict in the inner circle of the band, and 4 of us decided that after 5 years we'd had enough, so we left. Realistically, it was one of the hardest decisions I ever made, because we were set for a lot of great things, and we did a lot of great things. But when mental health started coming into it, and we weren't enjoying ourselves anymore. They're just, it wasn't fun, and it wasn't worth the fortune or fame. Well, not the fortune, because there was no fortune with it, but I only ever do music because I'm passionate about it. And so that we just weren't feeling it anymore, and I kind of put wheels in motion. I was like, girls, I don't know. I had sold my house. I'd left my family. I left everything. I did, everything to be there, and so I gave it my best shot until I decided, no, I need to leave this situation. And so then I put wheels in motion to get to America. Took a year between like lawyers and visas, but I always wanted to come to America. That was always my plan.
Right.
I just kind of got sidetracked going to Sweden.
You kind of got sidetracked.
Yeah, a good sidetrack though. Let's put it that way. I never, when you get a phone call like I did, that's life changing. Like it was literally my life had changed.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you were so wound up in music already, and then you say, hey, you get that call and say, hey, you want to go open for Motorhead? I mean, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean,
I know. And actually, during that period of time, it was almost towards the end of the band. I had also got approached by Trans-Siberian Orchestra, who are pretty huge in America. I hadn't personally heard of them, and then I looked them up, and they were going to have me come. Actually, I think it was to Florida. They were going to be doing the rehearsals in, and it was for their West Coast Christmas tour, because they're a Christmas touring band. And I was going to be the rock singer, because there's 8 singers, and unfortunately the dates conflicted with the band with Thunder Mother, because we were headlining Europe ourselves. Yeah. And I had that choice to make. Do I, be selfish and take this? Like, I would have been playing to 100,000 people a night in arenas. Yeah. Or do I not let all our fans in and the band and everything, because it had all been fixed and the tour. So I decided to do the right thing and stick with the band, and of course didn't end up staying in the band, but I felt like that was the right thing to do. And I always knew that if, like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they have me on file, and if anything ever comes up again, I'm sure I could step in.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to take you on the trip to my other home, because I was born in Canton, Ohio, so I know about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We'll have to go up there and show you around. And
yeah, well, I've been to Ohio, well, South Cleveland, because my brother-in-law is from there.
Oh,
so my sister's married to a guy from Brunswick, South Cleveland. So so I've got a lot of family in Ohio, and I like it there. I went there 2 Christmases ago, I think it was.
I haven't been back there since 1994.
Wow.
It's not the fact. It's I was born there. I was a year old when I moved down to Florida, so basically I'm a Floridian. But I moved there when I was a year old, and I got family in Youngstown, Akron, Dayton, Dover, Marietta. Yeah. So I mean, I got family all over there. But my parents come down here for work, and this is where home's been ever since. But
I've way never worse really places to be than Florida.
Right. I've never had anything up there to bring me back up there. I mean, I never
like snow.
Yeah. Well, no, I love snow, because I used to go snow skiing in Carolinas all the time, and up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I used to go snow skiing up there all the time when I was younger. But Ohio, I never had nothing. I didn't know anybody, or I didn't know anything there, so nothing was there to bring me back to Ohio. So
I think that's the main thing, because I guess even for me, people always ask me, do I go back to Ireland a lot? And I'm like, well, I've been out of it longer than I've lived in it, almost at this point. And my parents are still there, and friends, and
well, good. When we go, I'll go with you when we go back, because I've always wanted to go to Ireland.
Yeah,
I think my bloodline runs through Ireland. I think
it probably does. There's a high correlation of, especially American Irish, because I think back,
because I got that red head going on. See the red beard?
Yeah, the ginger beard. I mean, there's a lot of, I think most people here, or anybody I talk to at least, has some form of Irish blood. But I think, we emigrated a lot. But if anybody's interested, I haven't released, and I don't know if I ever will, but today I put on my YouTube, because it was part of the Songathon distance song challenge. Myself and Colin wrote, one of my friends, we wrote a song called No Place Like Home. And it's literally, I based it on a true story, of course, but if you've ever watched the movie Brooklyn, it's Saoirse Ronan. She plays herself. She's an Irish girl and she immigrates to America, and it's just a tearjerker. So it's kind of based on that too, but it's the Irish American kind of, anybody.
What made you get into rock and roll?
I just always loved rock and roll. I think, when I look at, growing up in Ireland, AC/DC were, huge. And, my dad used to play in the car, T-Rex and Guns N' Roses. And for me, something just, it's a good pump and it's simple. There's no intricacy in rock and roll. It's just, you got a solid 4/4 beat. The lyric content usually tends to be just balls to the wall, kind of it's empowering.
But I've watched you play the guitar. You can pick a guitar pretty damn good.
I mean, thank you, I guess, but I've never claimed to be a guitar player. And when some people have come up to me before and they're like, "You're really good," and I'm like, "You're really drunk." No, but I mean, I just know what I know, and I kind of, because over the years, of course, not now anymore. We haven't played in so long, but I mean, I've just always kind of kept with the few chords that I've known, and I've never put any more effort into learning, because I always use the guitar as a tool for me to be able to just sing, because singing and writing is what I'm born to do. And it's I've never, people say, "Oh, why don't you learn the guitar more or get the electric and start solo?" I'm like, nah, I don't want to name my
Is that the only thing that you know how to play is guitar?
No, I was classically trained on piano, so
okay. I was going to say you had to have some kind of musical background to be able to at least know what to do on a guitar.
Yeah. So what I did was, I never learned pop piano, which was, looking back at, I wish I would have, because I could play all Mozart and do all of that kind of thing, but at least I had musical theory I was really good at. Right. So I was able to I never got a single guitar lesson in my life. I learned everything, and everything you see is what I've done myself. And so what I did was, Santa Claus brought me a guitar when I was 16, I think, and I just sat there and I worked everything out myself. But I had the theory to be able to, at least once I found what shapes the chords were, I was able to very easily work out chord structures and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, if I sat for hours every day, but when you're surrounded by so many amazing musicians, people who can do a better job than you can personally on an instrument, that's where I lend into.
You're not giving yourself enough credit.
Well, no, I appreciate it. It's very
No,
sweet.
you're not. You're not. You got to give yourself more credit, because for you to get to the point where you're at now, that has taken you a lot of skill, a lot of time, a lot of effort, plus the fact it's hard to classically train somebody in piano. It is very hard.
Yeah, I was very young. I think I was 6 when I started, and 7, 8. So I was spending hours every day, literally, I could do it in my sleep. I was really, really good. I won't lie. Looking back, I was winning competitions, and I was in, I did all my grades. I didn't get the very last on grade 8 because it was conflicting with school, so I couldn't spend 6 hours a day doing my piano, but I just loved it, and I really, I was very competent on it, but it's like a muscle, and so you lose that. So I literally could sit down now. I still write a lot now, again, to the piano, but I don't, I do not have the classical side anymore, but
I think you could pick it back up if you started doing it again.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a practice thing. It's all in the fingers and the muscle memory. So a lot of the times when you're playing and you're that competent, you're not actually like thinking about it. You're like just it's literally muscle memory coming out, and it's practice, and you must do it like daily. It's like any muscle in your brain, your actual muscles, they need training, and your body will adjust to good training. So
would you say you're more of a singer? Would you say you're more of a songwriter than you are a performer?
No, I'm equal.
You're equal?
Yeah, because performing is something I need to do.
Right.
So I push myself more and more. Like, realistically, I don't need to perform as often as I sometimes do, but there's always been something so, I don't know what the word is, but I love connecting with people, and I love being on a stage. And so I would classify myself as a performing artist, like, but I do write, like I was at least writing 7 days a week, like, but now I realize with quarantine that was too much, because creatively, I kind of
everybody's getting rowdy because they've been locked up. I mean, they're just starting to opening up everything down here now. So hey, the beach is open. If you want to come on down, come on.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, they opened up everything this weekend. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's similar here. They're floating, like they're doing stages or phases, should I say?
Yeah. So, but I think there's a lot more to this Corona stuff than people know about. So.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But there's so many different conspiracy theories and different people's perception of it. So I mean, it is what it is, and when you can't control something, just go with the flow and make your own. I've really enjoyed this time, and I have I've worked very hard on me and my projects, and I've realized actually, I need to now look for this instead of giving to,
right.
And that's been useful, I think.
You sang a couple songs when I watched you when you were doing your interview with Taylor. You got your guitar with you?
Yeah, it's here. And I think here, there's a comment, who was it? Okay, yes, somebody was asking, can I play Carry Me? Yes, I can. Yeah. So Carry Me is, where is my pick? But I don't need my pick for this. Carry Me was I'm releasing so much material this year, I have no idea. It was like the third song.
Do you already have songs that you can release that we can actually put on the station?
Yeah, so all of the stuff that I've released already is like on all the platforms. So if you want anything, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
And then today actually, I just decided to release one more before my big project, and it's called Victorious, and it's like a fighter song in really cool, motivational, just pop rock element, and that's going to be released next Friday. So I'll send you a copy of that too. But you can pre-save it today. I think.
What's the big project?
I'm working with Eddie Gore and Justina Kelly over at RCA Studio in Nashville, the iconic RCA Studio. Yeah, so everybody finally who's been struggling, wondering what it is I do and what I'm all about, I've done 3 songs, and they're going to be strategically released over the course of. They're in for master right now, so. Next thing is photo shoots and getting a publicist. We've everything set up to go, so it's exciting. Actually, one of mine and Taylor's songs is the first one that's going to get released.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do when you're not doing music?
Working out, fitness and meditation. So I spend equal amounts of time on my music as I do on my fitness and and my meditation. So I do a lot of like healing and light work on myself. And also I'm going to hopefully do a course in Reiki over the summer, and I'm going to become, because I'm a healer, well, through music, but I also have the ability, as I've been told by many healers, that I can heal. So I'm going to tap into that a lot more. And
well, I need a lot of healing. I need a lot of healing. This body's been through a lot over the last 30 years.
Yeah, we do. We tend to punish our bodies a lot. So self-care and preservation is very, very vital, especially in times like this. And I think if you're not going, you can't serve from an empty cup. Right. So it's very important that you know, which I didn't. I never listened to my body like I do now. It's taken a long time, of course. But yeah, I think it's a key for creative people too, meditation. For me, there's both sides of meditation. My working out is actually meditation, but also like going into the theta state of mind, which is your subconscious, and doing chakra work. And I know it might be like gibberish to people who don't follow this, but yeah, I do. That's what I do, and I cook a lot. I love to cook. Yeah. Do you? That's why that's why I'm heavy. I love to cook. See, I spent 20 years in the fire department. I retired from the fire department. That's why my body has been through what it's been. I mean, it's been beat to hell for the last 20 years. But I also like to cook too. So I cook for big families because we've always had a big family, and it's hard to cut back when you know how to cook one way. It's hard to just, you know, scoop out little individual plates when you want to cook a whole spread every time. Oh, trust me, I know. Me and food are very, very best friends. I've had to stop, like, because I obviously I cook for myself and I eat myself, but I have to stop myself over cooking like more food than I need. I do a lot of prep work though, especially when it sounds like me and you would get along real well. Yes, trust me. Food and myself are very. I've had a few issues. Like it's not because of bad food, but food for me has always been my go-to for just compensating for a crazy life. Like comfort food. Yeah, I mean, food by its very nature. If there's any usual mental health associations with food, it tends to be because of something going on in your life, whether it's loneliness or whether it's depression, anxiety, or you know, we tend to use substances as a control for how we feel. And so like that's the one thing, like, but you know, sometimes you don't eat because you're hungry, you're eating because you're trying to fill a void for something. So I would definitely be wanting to talk with you more off air about that, because I'm curious about that, because I mean it's true. I mean there's a lot of people that eat because they're depressed or anxious or something like that. So yeah, it's loneliness is the biggest one. Is it? Yeah. Food fills a void, and it can be abused, and you don't have to even eat bad in order to abuse it. It's how you associate it. So, but that is definitely a topic. I'm heavily into my neurological science-based methods and just talking about health and nutrition in general. You just became my new best friend. Awesome. And I also, one thing I'll need from you, I need an 8x10 sign so I can hang you on our studio walls up here. These are all artists that we've done, so I want to add you to that wall. That's super cool. We'll have to do that. Well, this just makes me have to come down to Florida and go to the beach and sign. I'll tell you where the key's at. Come on down. Come on. Yeah. Oh, trust me, you don't have to ask me twice. What you gonna play for us? Okay, so I got requested to do "Carry Me," and that was my last single before the one I just released. So, one of my probably favorites of this year that I released is this song. Yeah, I wrote it with a great friend called Adam Saran, and then I had a Swedish producer co-produce it as well. So if anybody does like it or wants to get it, it is everywhere on social platforms and Spotify, iTunes, that kind of thing. So
cool.
So this is the acoustic version. It's an EDM rock Celtic kind of vibe. So.
We're also going to put it on our Spotify page. We have a Spotify page.
Oh, sweet, dude! Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because the version that's online is it's like it's Celtic meets EDM. So so yeah, here it goes. For all the times that I feel down, I know that I am not alone. I can feel you all around. I hear the voice of your ghost. I know you're there. I know you care. I know you're there. I know you carry me. I know you're there. I know you care. I know you're there. I know you carry me. I know you carry me. Distant hands reach out to me. Calm my heart and ease my mind. Like a lighthouse in the distance, pull me through the dead of night. I know you're there. I know you care. I know you're there. I know you carry me. I know you're there. I know you care. I know you're there. I know you carry me. I know you carry me. I know you carry me. All the times that I feel down, I know that I am not alone. That's fascinating.
Yay!
Yay! Applause. You know, it's so weird because we don't hear applause anymore. I feel like I should get one of those recordings and just press yay.
All right.
Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah. So yeah, that's Carry Me. Thank you for requesting it. And yeah, oh, actually, Adam told me, the co-writer. He said he's going to be dropping a house, like a house mix on it too. So there's going to be probably many versions of that song coming out over the year. But yeah, that's the acoustic.
That's cool. Let's see. What was the last concert that I was at too down here? Oh, that's when Metallica came. Metallica was here when they did the big stadium tour here in Orlando, and yeah, it was weird because when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of the hair bands, you know, Poison, Van Halen, you know, Motley Crue, all of them. As I got older, though, I got more into the countryside, but I still know the old school side, and I still know the rock side, which I like going back and forth because Yeah, I don't know. I guess it keeps a good balance, of music.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, and like music, it's art, and I truly believe like within every style there's something beautiful in music. And so when I transitioned from the really hard rock into like my more folk and Celtic stuff, not the Celtic stuff, everybody seems to accept that, if that's a word, but when I did like go away from that, I did have a few of the metal fans be like, oh, this is shit. And so I kind of like reached out and I said, hey, just remember that like there's really no such thing as like shit music. It's just maybe not your cup of tea.
It's not. Yeah, it's not what not what you like or what you're used to.
Yeah. So that doesn't necessarily mean I don't think there's anything too bad in this world, or there's everybody has their own niche and their own likes and needs. So I always do tell people, and I make a point of reaching out to anybody who does like to spit negativity online, because I'm not about drama, but I'll always say, just remember that somebody created that art, and by your negative words, luckily I laugh. I just grab the popcorn, and I don't have it a lot, but I'm confident and strong like that, but not everybody is. And so, there's so much, it's too easy for people to hide behind a screen and be very negative towards people, which is such a shame, because so many people in this world suffer just because of people's idiotic words. So Rival Sons, great rock band. Yes, they are. We got to play with Rival Sons a couple of times.
When I look at you, I think more of heart.
Everybody says that, yeah.
Do they really? I loved. Oh my God, I loved them growing up because they were just two of them. I mean, they didn't have to be in a full band or anything. It was just two of them, two sisters that made the music together, and was just, so killer. And of course, you had Janis Joplin back then. You also had Lita Ford. Yeah. We're talking. You're right up there with the.
Yeah, we played with Lita a couple of times in Sweden, like on different festival bills and stuff. But yeah, you mentioned Heart and you mentioned Janis. They're the two. I get that along with Melissa Etheridge, and Stevie Nicks has been the number one that I've always gotten. And then there's other sprinkles of like different like comparisons, but they're always really good. And but then again, it's nice because I think people are like, but you're unique sounding. So I think, growing up, we were only talking about this. I'm in a boot club now, but it was talking about like how as a child you always want to fit in, but I always knew I was a little bit different in every aspect of life. And so it was a struggle, but I'm glad I did, because a lot of people want to look like somebody else, or they want to sound like somebody else, and I think it's it's a longer road.
I don't think there's an artist out there in any genre that looks or acts like somebody else, because if you didn't have your own mind, you didn't have your own approach, you didn't have your own way of thinking, you probably will never be where you have gotten if you were in that mindset.
Right, exactly. And it's sad that a lot of people want to be like something else. It does take. I had an interview not long ago, and when people have said, "But why aren't you signed right now again?" or "Why is it taking you so long?" and I'm like, "There's a process and a method behind that, because I'm not going to jump at an opportunity to change."
You got people that's asked you that though, because back 25 years ago, it was like that. Everybody growing up in the music industry, the producers and record labels and they wanted each artist to be this way and do this that way and do this. That's the way it was. They never actually let the artist be an artist.
No, they didn't. It was like boxing you and selling you. you know, because, you know, if you're in a label, of course, that's the easiest way, isn't it? Because you get the product and then you sell it. And so they have to.
Well, and the music industry is changing now too. It's yes. It could be good or bad. Ever since, believe it or not, since we've been in quarantine, I've talked to a lot of friends because I know a lot of people in Nashville and at the record labels too. There's a lot going on in the music industry right now. It's changed over the last 10, 15 years, but it's now going to go even further in changing too. It used to never be about social media. It was always, see, me and you, we think alike. We know, yeah. It used to be about how much music you produced and how many records you sold or how many CDs you sold, you know, or a product you sold. That's what it was all about, and concerts, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spent most of your life on the road, you know, doing shows and concerts. Now it's if you don't have $2 million in your pocket and don't have a social media following on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, you're not going to get recognized by any label whatsoever.
No, it's the first question they'll ask you. What are your numbers? And I'm like, exactly. I'll tell you what my numbers are.
I would have said my numbers are a size 45 waist. I wear a size 12 shoe. There's my numbers. What else you want to know?
I love that. Yeah, and you know, so in one way, again, you've already done all the work for them. So labels, I personally think nowadays they still have the same amount of work. They just don't have to put in the same marketing.
They don't have to.
People are doing it themselves.
They don't have to put the effort into it because you've already done all that. If you got over 100,000 followers on social media, they're going to look at you because they say, okay, well, she's already got her clientele. She's got her fan base. So why do we have to do any? We're just going to put in a little bit extra work just to keep her going. That's
get paid the same.
Right. Exactly.
That's why a lot of artists are like, actually, no, I'm starting up my own label or I'm going to do my own thing. Really, on a grand scheme of thing, record labels by their very nature are like a bank. And they can put advance money into you as an artist if you're not able to pay your own way to get out in the public eye, basically. And that's what they kind of tend to be more used upon nowadays rather than what they were back in the day, you know.
Right, yeah, definitely. I definitely want to talk more about this because I got a lot more information to give you too. What I have found out in the industry just in the last 4 or 5 years that I've been into it. I think the record labels, I think they need to be. I think a new artist that's coming up should produce their own music, market their own music, and actually own their own label. That way, everything that you're doing goes to you. You know where it's going to, what you're getting paid for, what you're putting out. Yeah, see, we got to talk. We got to talk. I'm telling you, I can give you some pointers. Yeah, I can give you some pointers.
It's music to my ears.
Tell everybody where they can find your music.
Yes. I actually set up a link tree right now, but my website has everything that you probably need. So it's what I can do for anybody who's on here. It's just easier for me to type it.
Okay.
Oh, this is a close-up. So Clare Cunningham Music. I'm going to type it because people put I in my name and then you're not going to find me. So here you go.
It's CLARE.
Dude, do you know, I just wish my parents, just give me a name that can't be spelled more than one way, and we'd have been fine. So, honestly, there you go. That's my website, Clare Cunningham Music. But honestly, if you type my name, if you Google me, there is also a Clare Cunningham with an I who's a triathlon. Yes, I'm very into my...
I've seen her, yeah. Yep.
That is not me. There is also a Clare Cunningham who was a super bitch in a UK thing called Hollyoaks. That is not me either. I am the other Clare Cunningham. Yeah, there's three. There's three Clare Cunninghams. Yeah, my website is probably the best place. But if you type my name into any
Spotify,
yeah,
iTunes.
Yeah, you'll find me. But my handle is at Clare C Official. So that's across the board for my handle. And obviously anybody on here, yeah, exactly. I've kept it like that, just for purposes of managing like all socials. It's the same one for everything, apart from YouTube, which I can't change, which is really, really annoying. I'm like, can I just please change my YouTube that it doesn't say my date of birth?
Tell everybody one thing that they don't know about you.
Ooh, I always feel like I should be prepared with these things.
That's what I don't have a script. I just do the interviews. We just sit and talk normal, and that's it. There's no stress.
One thing people don't know about me. Well, I guess would it be? I guess because I'm Irish, but I Irish danced over the. Oh, actually, no. Here's one thing you definitely don't know about me. I was an Indian dance teacher for 2 years when I lived in London.
Indian, like belly dancing or
like Bollywood? Yeah.
Really?
It's so random. I was living in London at the time, and I love dancing as much as I do like music and working out. I've Irish dance and I've done a bit of dancing over the years, but I was just in university, in music university, and I was like, I'd love to do something else.
Right.
So I decided to go for this interview, and it was for a dance company, and I had no idea it was an Indian dance company. And I went along, and there was all these dance teachers in the interview, like waiting to be interviewed, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna leave because like clearly like I've made a mistake. Right. But before I got up off the chair, they called me in, and I was like, oh my god, why am I even here? So I sat down, and I was like, just being me, like, hey, I'm Clare. And there was like 50 people applied for the job, and 4 of us got it. They basically took me on, not because I had any experience. I had 0 experience. They just loved my personality, and they knew I had a drive. So every Sunday, when I lived in London, we would have a 4-hour rehearsal, and then throughout the week, when I wasn't in university, I was going out to schools in South London, teaching Indian dancing. And we got to perform in some like events, and I would wear the whole like Indian outfit with the bindi and everything.
Cool. We are definitely going to talk more about that. I promise you. Make sure you go get her music. Find her on her website there at www.clarecunningham.com. That's CLARE. No I in it. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the platforms at Clare C Official. She's got new music getting ready to drop here in the next, month or 2, right?
Yeah, well, there will, like, today there's a pre-save for another song that I've done for next week. But yeah, just be on the lookout, guys. It's coming very, very soon. It's being mastered right now, and so as soon as that happens, I'll be sitting with the publicist.
And we'll definitely we'll definitely get you. We're probably going to put you in the top 20 countdown on the countryside and put you on our other page, because we also have another station, Orlando's WBCW Rocks. So we're going to put you on the rock side too.
Yay! But and there is rocks that come back to my Taylor song. The song that's going to be hitting is definitely it's a rock one. It's a fun one. So
when we get off the here, I'm gonna get your. I'm gonna message you, because we're not done talking, because we got a lot to talk about. But I just want to jump off before because Instagram's gonna shut you down in an hour anyway.
They will.
But thanks for being on the show. We'll get this out, because you can always rewatch this, because we'll be putting it back up on Facebook. So anybody that didn't get a chance to watch it on here, it'll be rebroadcasted on Facebook too for everybody to see. So
awesome.
But definitely appreciate you for coming on the show, and thanks to everybody hanging out watching with us, and I will be talking to you real soon.
Yes. And thank you. And yes, Victorious, the single, it hits next Friday on Spotify.
Yes, next Friday.
You can pre-save it today. Yes. To answer your question, thank you. All right, lots of love to you, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, dear. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Yes. Bye.
All right.
Take care.